thank you, Minna and Sue. They're going to go into a trance-like place, and they're going to be, this is an experiment, so we're going to be bringing through information, and we'll see what comes through. And then I want people to ask questions after they're finished going into trance, but they'll be tuning into what's happening on the planet now, and whoever's watching could ask a question. So go ahead, take it away, Sue.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to say a brief prayer, and then we're going to try to go into an altered state. Dear Father, Mother God, thank you for this wonderful opportunity to bring the spirit world into our lives and share their messages. This is a time of great chaos and trouble in the world, and we ask your advice, and we ask that all of your guides, helpers, teachers, and our loved ones will bring forth messages that will help to console us at this time of need. And we are humbly grateful for all that you do for us. Amen. And the time to communicate a message to all of you. As the blending occurs, my voice will become stronger, and you will know that the words I speak are not of this world, but coming from the spirit plane. And the spiritual messages that you seek are ones that we try to bring forth to you. For this is a time of great change. And although change is difficult for many of you, and change can bring the fear that you are afraid of what's going to come and what is going to happen to you. However, fear kills the mind, and fear is something you should not be afraid of. You should think in terms of what the possible futures are and what they're going to be. For now is a time of great change, and it is an opportunity, not a death of the old, but an opportunity for the new, an opportunity to allow you to envision the world and the life in which you would like to lead. A world that could become more peaceful and more loving and more caring. For the world you live in now, or you have known, has not been such. And in this world, people are not kind to each other. But in the next stage, we will love each other as brothers and sisters, and know that in the future, caring is the commodity, not money. For the money you have sought has not brought you the happiness that you have wanted to achieve. And what you need to achieve is a better feeling of belonging, of love, of knowing that you all are together in one humankind. And this is what this situation is teaching. It is teaching that we all must come together. We can no longer look at our individual needs, but we must look at the things that will make all of us happier and better human beings. For this is a real marking point in human evolution and human time. For this is an incident that is not just a blip on the screen, as you would say. It is a critical moment of human evolution. For those of you who survive these times and virus, will be the ones to build the next future, and that future is up to you. For as humans, you have human choice. This is not happening because of some divine plan or motion. It's happening because humankind has gotten to this point. And it is a point where you need to realize that it is a time for you to begin to understand what really is valuable in life. and being together locked into your homes, you must now spend time with your families and realize how important family is, and begin to realize how important it is to be human, and know that we are a kind, not a race. We are a kind, a group, an entity, no matter whether you're Black or white or Asian or American Indian or Indian Indian. You are all one people. And as one peoples, you need to solve this problem together. It will not happen with one. It will not happen with two. It will only happen as a combined effort of all of you on the planet coming together. And that's what the spirit world would like to see. The unity of mankind. The unity of you all. So do not fear, for we are actually getting closer and closer to each other, rather than being spread far apart. Although you physically may not be with others, spiritually you are. So just think of the positive and realize a new world is coming, a new time is coming, and it can be all that you imagine.
Dear sisters and brothers in our family, you are so loved, and we watch you're struggling right now, further to your evolvement, your evolution. And we applaud you. You are doing an amazing job. Are you able to hear your own heartbeat? Do you resonate with your heartbeat? How does it sound to your ears? Is it settled? Or are you in stress? Think about all the heartbeats of the other people. Are you in the resonance with the heartbeats of other humans? How about the planet? Are you able to hear the heartbeat of the planet? Are you in resonance with the heartbeat of the earth? We are here to tell you what already known in your science. Everything is a frequencies and are energies. You are energy beings. As we see you as energy beings, you are all about energy, and you have a unique frequency, each of you, depending on your soul mission, what you are about to do in your planet Earth during this life form as you see now. It's the frequency that you are able to change if you, according to your free will, want to learn what's all about. For example, in this moment, to learn about your own life, because you have to remember that there are no victims. We are responsible in all levels, as you as humans are as well. You have the responsibility to do your own job, and nobody else is allowed or capable of doing your job. You have to, at this moment, to see your life through honesty, not denial. What's in your life right now? How do you feel about your surroundings, the people around you, the family? Because everything you are experiencing outside the world, it's on your reflection out of your inner life. And you are able to change if you don't want to see what's all about surrounding you. You have the free will, and nobody and nothing is going to stop you if you use your free will. Not the coronavirus, and not other diseases, or your spouses, or your children. You just claim your rights because they are the birthrights of yourself. You have come to this world to find out who you are and not who you're supposed to be in the eyes of the third people. But you just seek who you are, seek your own dreams, and take power of your own life. Because it's all about evolution right now. You have the space and time to go deep within, to study what's bothering you, what is the emotions that you have held back all your life. Because there are no good or bad emotions. They are just emotions, that they are your stepping stones, like your signals that you have to pay attention. Because if you are angry at somebody, you have to feel the anger and try to understand why you are angry at. Because nobody is putting you any emotions except yourself. They are the healing needs to place within your own wounds. And usually they are coming from the childhood. Every single person has wounds coming from their childhood or along during their lifetime. But they are the lessons. They are just the lessons to work through in order to release the energy in your body system, in order to raise, in order to evolve to the human being as you're supposed to be, as the light being with the higher vibration. Because you know, you create everything around you, and it's because of your frequency. If you vibrate in resonance with the frequency of the coronavirus, you will invite that into your life. But if you go beyond to the frequency of the virus, you don't hit the virus because you don't manifest the virus for yourself. But it's a hard process. There is no easy way going out. We have to, in all levels, we have to learn how to get to another level, how to get higher vibrations. This is vital for you to understand. You are not the victims. You are not the victims even now. Claim the rights and do the energy work. And what I mean about the energy work is deal with your emotions, feel them, be with them, and they are just saying, they disappear, and you feel the huge relief, because everything what is in your energy system, in your energy bodies, is keeping you lower. It's the fear, it's not the love. Everything is just about the fear or love. And when you see above everything in your life, all your struggles, you know that there has been no mistakes or coincidences. They are just lessons to be learned. And if you don't learn the lesson in a hard way, unfortunately, the universal law is you have to learn the lesson in order to proceed. So this is a beautiful moment for everybody to evolve, and we are watching so proudly the work, the hard work that you are doing right now, investigating your own lives, your emotions, and getting rid of the old energies in order to rise to the now higher frequencies, in order to join them in one day when you are ready in a humankind as a one.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful, both of you. I have a question before we go to the chat. It's an individual journey, but it seems that the countries, the leaders, the people also that need to become aware of this oneness are not really getting the message. We haven't really come together as a whole planet, you know, with a unified, it's starting, but we're still very separate, it feels, this country and that country. There are no countries anymore. It's all one humanity. So how could we start to move in a more political way, not from the individual, yes, but out to the collective? Any channelings for that?
I would say we are in a process for doing that very nicely right now, because we have to understand that everybody who is doing whatever they're doing in their lives, it's just where they should be at this moment, because they are just different levels of consciousness, and people are in a different stages of their consciousness, and they are just like a parallel realities. And now people are having some kind of a common experience, and this will join people. So we are in the process, and eventually we will get there, but we don't know our times, because there is no time. So we don't know what's exactly in the years, but everything is processing and progressing at this time. But it depends on the soul mission and the level of the consciousness.
But also, we see that people who were once enemies are now sharing, because we have to share things across the globe. We have created a system where no one country produces all of the things that we need to live in our lives. So this is a time where all of the different countries need to come together and forget their differences so that they can cooperate and save the human race.
Yeah, that's true, but they're not getting it. I mean, the politicians, how do we help them? I guess it's up to each one of us in that sense to.
Some are and some are not. If you listen to some of your politicians, some understand and some do not. And the ones that do not will eventually will not rise to the top, but the ones who do understand will rise up. And the ones who are not getting it, as you would say, will not elevate themselves. They will eventually be forgotten.
And now you have to remember, we are in the collective consciousness. There is a morphic field that everybody is downloading to and from the information. So when people are doing the job in their own lives and they resonate higher frequency, that will affect on the collective consciousness. So everybody is able to link into the higher consciousness level at the same time. So when we are doing our job in our personal lives, we are helping the collective consciousness to raise even further. And this is shown with the Schumann resonance right now.
Okay, I got a question from someone watching online. MK asks, how can you vibrate in higher frequency for someone just beginning to meditate and on their spiritual journey, just beginning on their spiritual? What do you suggest?
Well,
It's
Go ahead, either person.
It's all about not just the meditating, but it's just going see inwards what's going on in your life and what kind of feelings if you are very angry, if you have a hatred, and try to work on those lower level feelings and understand the reasoning why you are angry or why you are in a fear, and start to understand your life, why and from where this feeling is coming from, in order to understand it. And when you understand and when you are in the feeling, that's the way you raise your vibration.
Yeah. Stu?
Yeah, but you can also, what I do is in meditation, I try to clear my mind. I try to clear my mind so that there are no thoughts, which is difficult. So what you do is focus on your breathing and focus on your breathing. And when you get a thought, on the exhale, try to let it go. So it's gone. And as you clear your mind, you allow the thoughts of the spirit world to enter in, to give you guidance, to know where and what you should do. But on a more practical level, those people and there always are some people that you're not fond of, or you may be having a fight with, or not happy with. Instead of being angry with them, send them love. Send them love, and you will see that the whole relationship will change.
And it's all about listen to your own intuition. Don't listen to other people. Just listen to your intuition. Try to learn how to you hear your own voice inside voice. It's all about that. If you are able to do that within the meditation, it's great, but there are other means as well to discover your own inner voice, and that's your intuition. That is your guide. There are no gurus outside of yourself. It's just you. You know what to do when you listen yourself, and now is a perfect time for you to listen the voice in your side.
I got another question from Vicky. She says it appears there's a lot of fear out there, not so much about the virus, but also about 5G and vaccines. Any thoughts about that and people's fears in general? Sue, you want to answer that? And then.
Yeah, well, fear is what you should not do, because fear is what brings negativity and brings things like the virus to you. It is the negative things within our lives that bring about illness. And the more positive you are, and the more, as Minna has said, the more you realize who you are and try to get rid of all of those negative things around you, the better off and healthier that you will be. We see that, yes, they are trying to come up with scientific ways to cure the illness and to cure the virus. But within each and every one of us, we need to be strong and really think it's not going to affect me. And it's not going to affect me because I am a good person, because I am on a spiritual path, because this is not my future. So you need to really try to work on yourself and heal yourself. And we all know that spiritual healing works. So if we all send out spiritual healing to the planet, that would be another way to help us cure this illness.
And please think about the moment now. If you have the fear coming in your head, in your mind, think about at this moment, how everything is in your life at this moment now, because there is only the moment now. But the mind will go to the history and the future, and that brings the fear. But if you think about now, and everything is about living in the now, because we do all the decisions in now, we have the feelings in now. So that brings the misery when we are thinking about ahead or in past, in a history.
I agree. If you're okay now, if you have a roof over your head, you have food in the cabinet, then just be with that. And let's not worry about, there's always something, to think about and be fearful of. Shut off the news sometimes. And, but, I think what these women are saying is take control of your life and there'll be less fear and more power. Do you want to take some personal questions, Sue, like messages from the other side, or do you want to keep it more on this topic?
What do you mean, personal messages from people, questions?
Yeah, Joanne talks about her mother who lost her brother. Do you, Brian, is anything anything Brian has to say?
Okay,
yeah.
They're interested in more mediumship, mental mediumship, which is connecting with loved ones.
Right, but you want to just keep it on what we're talking about, and you could do maybe private sessions with people, or you want to go a little bit into that?
Well, it's hard. We should try to keep it more general than just dealing with individual people.
That's what I feel.
We should, yeah.
So how can people we'll continue, but if people want to know about that, how can they reach you?
They can find me through my website, which is Spirit Art Gallery, one word, .net.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Minna, do you do that work too? Personal readings?
No, I don't at this point.
Okay.
But I do the trance healing, distant trance healing.
Okay, great. Okay, so then I'll finish. I'll keep the questions. Can you talk about the debt relief, the economy, the world economy? What's going to happen in the coming months and years as far as a global economic transformation? Do you have any channelings, work about that?
Well, I'm just going to say that I mean, I have thought about that, and what the information I've been told, and now I'm not in trance, is that everything has to change. I mean, when we look at it, well, it looks like all of the financial structures that we created in a materialistic world are falling apart.
Right.
So we're going to have to create some kind of new way of a new type of economy. And I mean, when all the money goes, in the past, people have resorted to bartering. They've done all kinds of things, you know, and but again, I mean, part of it is how can we envision and imagine a new type of future? I mean, now is the point where we can begin to think of a new type of system. Do I know exactly what it's going to be? No, because I don't think it's been created yet. I don't think people have really thought about it yet. But I think with guidance that we can find a new way to survive. And I was going to tell people, hey, look, if you can't pay your rent, neither can anybody else. So what are they going to do? What are they going to do? We're all in the same boat. So we have to find another solution.
Well, everyone's saying we have to find another solution, but no one has found that solution yet. I mean, we're working towards that, and I think it'll be a great...
Well, the solution,
yeah.
The difference in finding the solution is that instead of focusing on how much money can I make, the solution is found in what's the best for most people. I mean, that's really the shift in focus has to be from one of money to one of people. Right. And when we look at people, then we start to say what's best for them. And I mean, if nobody has any money, nobody has any money. I mean, the whole system could collapse. But people will find another way of bartering things.
But I think that we are going to see a huge change that will affect a lot of the monetary system as well. And I think it's coming in a very few months, we are able to see the truth, what has been all along going on in our societies, in the whole world. And I think that will make the difference. But the other thing is we have the free will. We have the free will, so we do that what we ever want to do with the collective consciousness. So that is creating, but we have to tap to be one, because we are manifesting together what kind of world what we want to live in the future. So nobody is able to see that, but we are creating that every thought by thought. And if we created that by fear, we are not going further. But when we are tapping in the higher consciousness, and I mean the love and the equality, and see the point of the other people as well, and not our own, that will make the difference. And I think that the human race is about to understand that hard lesson at this point, to realize that that I cannot be just taking advantage of everybody else, because I won't get anything anymore for myself either, because everything is based on the equality. But the truth has to come out first. And I think that we are experiencing all kinds of things going on all over the world, that we are able to go all along with that knowledge after a few months.
Yeah, I agree with you, Minna. That's a really good point, because I think people are realizing now we've been enslaved, really enslaved to an economic system that doesn't work for everyone. I mean, there's a lot of people who hate their jobs and, you know, and they're not working at their jobs now. So maybe this is a chance for the world to have a global economy, not like a new world like some people have talked, but a world where people can do what they love to do. This is what I call the flowering of humanity, where everyone's an artist and everyone's supported for their passion, for their creativity.
Yes.
And that might be being a farmer or a nurse or a teacher, creativity. And this is the world I think we're being pointed to now as a possibility. It could be a really amazing planet with that happening. So
Yeah, I would love to say that it's a heaven on earth when everybody is able to proceed through their dreams, whatever they are, but they are able to get what they want in that respect and not exploiting the others while they are manifesting their dreams come true.
yes, thanks. So maybe we're pointing to a heaven on earth, opposed to an earth on heaven. Wait, I got another question here from Maria. She says, as a medical doctor and medical astrologer, I say the virus will be gone by early next year. But what do you say? What do you say as far as how long this thing will be around, both of you? Sue?
I'm not a fortune teller.
Okay.
You know, if I was, mediums would all be lottery winners. But I mean, what's my general feeling?
Mm-hmm.
My general feeling is that it will go away. It's not going to go away as quickly as some of our politicians think it will. And her estimate is probably about right. Because I do feel that it will be lingering into the fall. But by next winter or so, I think it'll die down. But I would just tell people too that if they're home alone, this is an opportunity that they have if they're not working to pursue some of the things that they really would like to do. So instead of just watching TV, you know, see if there's something in your life that you want to try to do and do it. Write a book.
Yeah. No, that's great. Minna, what do you think as far as the length of time this might be around?
Well, I would think that it's what we are doing as a collective. For example, tomorrow is the 4-4 day. It's a very, very powerful energy coming from to Earth, and lots of people all over the world is meditating together. And we have scientific proof that when we are meditating into the same goal, we are able to raise the vibration. And I hopefully, personally, I feel that will have effect on the DNA of the virus as well, if we are sort of connecting to the DNA all together. Because, for example, tomorrow it said that millions of people are meditating together in order to get rid of the virus. So, and I think that I know that because there's a scientific based research that this energy will affect the other life forms. So it has to affect on the virus DNA as such. And I think that may result even, you know, shorter period for the virus. So we may see miracles if we are joining really together and see that's a mission together to do and change the vibration for the virus.
Right, not just a miracle for that, but maybe this will lead to miracles in health for the whole society in general as we pursue this kind of line of research. Okay, I got a few more questions. I'm staying away from some of the conspiracy stuff because there's lots of people who talk about that. I mean, unless you want to get into that, you know, government control and manipulate. I think that's a lower energy because, I mean, people can deal with that, but it doesn't help.
Yeah, but you see, if people focus on that, they're not helping themselves, because what Minna was talking about is, if we want to eradicate this, one of the ways spiritually to do it would be for us to believe that we are healthy and that we are whole and that we can heal this if we all put our minds to it. But going around thinking about conspiracy theories is fear, and fear kills it.
Yeah. People want to know, can you do some more channeling of the answers? Like there's another question here from Louisa, says, I want to know why the beings of the universe watching the earth, even who are watching the earth, is there warfare in the heavens? I want to know how to change our vibration to love. So, I mean, could you channel? And also say where you're channeling from, like who are you actually channeling or trancing to? Where's the information coming from? But talk about the around us. Yeah, go ahead, Minna.
Yeah. So I would say it's all about our own vibrations, because there's a resonance. If we vibrate higher consciousness, so to speak, we vibrate with the same frequencies also outside our own planet. And for example, for me, my brainwaves have been tested, and I produce a lots of gamma waves, and that's the resonance that I got my information and my downloads. I have been doing that for 6 years, and within the first year it was just all about the downloadings and teachings from me, and it has been always the light beings, very bright light with no shape, because everything is just light, and nowadays it's pure white light. And I have received the name, the Galactic White Light Council.
Can you channel?
It's consciousness. It's a pure consciousness.
Can you channel something from them directly about what's happening now, as far as the awareness of other civilizations watching us at this time? Like, can you go into a trance with them?
Well, what they have been telling me, it just, we have the free will planet, and they are helping us to raise our vibration in our personal lives. They help us if we ask them to help us. But at this point, they are just watching and seeing, because they are not able to interfere our free will. So they are just, if we want to tap the frequency, we are able to have the help, but they are not doing anything for us, because we have the responsibility to do our own world as we want to manifest it.
Sue, you get anything? Yes.
Just a minute, I'm trying to go back in.
Okay.
And what was the question?
Well, what are these beings, you know, trying with the other beings, the other planetary civilizations? What are they saying? Are they helping? Are they here? Are they observing?
Well, you have to realize that, yes, there are beings that are not earthbound, that are not on this planet. However, the spiritual levels that we work on are the same spiritual levels that these beings communicate with us. So this is one reason why, and we see in some authors have told us, that when the aliens come, they come with deceased loved ones, because they're all working on the same type of plane and spiritual vibration. You see, they've raised the energy up. In the past, human beings were able to communicate with the spirit world directly every day. But through your technologies and your media and different things, you have forgotten how to communicate with the spirit world. It's in the spirit world of light that you see all of these things coming together. It does not matter whether it's an alien race, it's all light and light frequencies and vibrations And so it's the vibrations coming from entities that have been on the earth and coming from entities who have not. But it's all working on more of a spiritual plane. And they're trying to bring the energies up so that we are more into balance with the rest of the universe. And that's what it's about. It's not like a watching per se of you did this and you did that. It's more of an awareness of how our energy levels are evolving and how we are moving towards a more unified type of planet. And a more unified type of people is more important than that, so that we as a race are one. And then we as a race will be able to meet these other races around the universe and know that they are not that much different from ourselves.
Well, I have a question about that. Was this planned for our planet? I mean, was this like the Galactic Federation, whoever they are, saying, these people are not getting it, we're going to have to do some drastic things?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's actually the opposite. This occurred because of you, because of free will of human beings, because of the ways you live your lives and what you're doing. Think about it. The galactic galaxies did not make airplanes, did not make the travel, did not make your commerce system, did not do any of these things, did not turn you away from the spiritual. Humans did that. And humans have been promoting an idea of the spiritual is dead. It's not there. And I'm not talking about religions per se. I'm talking about the spiritual essence of the human being. And that spiritual essence that is described in the simple saying, love one another. But this is about you. You created this. We didn't. The spirit world didn't create it. Humans created it. And so humans have to resolve it.
So we got ourselves into this mess. We're going to have to get ourselves out of it.
Well, I just have to say that this is a part of the evolution path we are. So the other civilizations, they are above us, but they are also below us. But we are at this stage of our evolution in this planet, because we are evolving together with our planet, humans and the planet Earth exactly at the same time. And we are just a race who does not remember. It's all about, we are just in amnesia. We don't remember who we are actually. And it's all about when we are rising our consciousness, it's our DNA is opening up. And what does mean? Because in a DNA, there is a data, and we are able to link on the past and the future. And maybe the beings that we are talking about, they are just ourselves in the future, because we have to remember we have the linear timeline right now, but in the spiritual world, there is just moment now, and we are able to talk, for example, prior myself in the history, but also in the future. And when we are talking about the higher selves, it's the higher selves in the future as well in the history. So we might have the information just from ourselves in the future.
Mm-hmm. So can you, I mean, there's some more questions and I'll get to them, but we are going to a higher vibration, I think is what you're both saying. And this is a kind of passageway. Can you tap into that galactic brotherhood and bring in a new vibration now? Can you do a transmission of frequencies for everyone watching?
Well, I would say that it's all about the energy, and when we are bringing that kind of energy during this program, it's just all about the resonance, the people who are watching and the link to the energy of this program. It's just the, you know, physics, the energy has to resonate.
But can you bring it, can you bring it through so we feel, I mean, you're bringing it through now, but as you go into a trance, there's like a higher vibration happening. So is there a way you can?
Yes, well, some people will sense it while others will not.
Right.
I mean, if you're a sensitive person, you can feel the vibrations. You know, for example, Minna and I, she's in Finland, I'm in the United States. We're able to feel each other's vibrations even though we're physically separated, in the universe, we're really not. And so part of it is building an awareness for an individual. I can't come down and zap you with a gun or something and say, look, here's the vibration, here's what it feels like. You have to open up your own self and recognize the vibrations when it's around you.
Right. Someone asked, is there anything though we can do, like eating certain foods, maybe mantras, even anything you recommend as far as that to raise the vibration? Maybe just being in the. Well, go ahead, Minna. Yes.
So I would say that please listen to your own intuition. Don't go along what the others are saying. Just feel what you need to do, what your body is telling you, because that's vital. Your body knows. There's a huge intelligence in your body, and you have to tap into that intelligence, and that will tell you what you want to do and what you have to do.
Yeah, everyone is different. I mean, for example, my body right now is telling me not to eat as much meat, but that's my body. Somebody else's body may, if they've been a vegetarian, may feel as if they do need to eat some meat. So they need to listen to their own intuition and sense their own cravings and what is the right thing to eat and what is not.
Right. Okay. Just have a few more questions, and then, and maybe we'll end with a meditation, actually, because I want to bring back a trance state to help uplift, everyone who's watching, and people who will be watching in the future. So, what I think you're saying is, and what other people are saying, of course, is this is a chance to really focus on ourselves, to get our own spiritual life in order. And that's the most important thing, is the inner life. We've been called into ourselves, and this was what is going to change the planet. So is there anything you recommend doing in this internal way? I mean, people turn on the television or listen to news. I mean, of course, to just be quiet, but what do you sense to help people in this inward journey?
Well, I would say, and there are YouTube videos on this, there's something called sitting in the power. And sitting in the power is very important. It's very important for mediumship, because what it's doing is it's really first focusing on your core spiritual energy. And then it's allowing your energy to move into your aura, and that aura to move out and touch out with nature and the spiritual world. So by centering yourself and sitting in the power and trying to feel that power of your own spirituality and expanding it out, you can start to feel more of the energies in the universe.
Minna.
So it all starts within you.
And I would say that do what you want to do, because now people have the time to do. For example, listen to music, sing, or paint, or whatever. When we are doing some artistic stuff, it will allow us to feel more, be open more, and just to enjoy. That's all about the life here, to enjoy, because all we have the talents. Everyone has the talent. Which is, if we don't know what our talent is or talents are, we just have to find that, because that's a passion. You will follow your passion and you will find it.
So you're saying this is a time to really look at what each of our passions are. What did we really incarnate to do? Can I ask you, what kind of other messages have you been getting, Minna, from the Galactic Council in the past couple of weeks leading up to this? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, because now it's all about this different kind of information and saying this misinformation, but it's all about the frequencies, because people are telling their own truth, but because they are vibrating and then they are different stages of the consciousness, it just feels that everybody has a different kind of voice, and we are saying it's a misinformation or what is truth. It's all about the truth for yourself. You have to find out what's resonating you and not going along with what the others are saying. So actually, is there misinformation? Well, I don't know about that. It just, if it resonates you or not, and you just ignore what's not resonating with you. So keep centered. That's the thing. Don't take research of your own life and not go along what the others are saying. That's a vital at this point to remember, and take your quiet time and do what you feel it's gives you the joy. But and talk with you. You know, this is the thing. Talk with your family members. Talk, not hide your emotions. Just talk openly, because now you have time at home to talk that you have never had that kind of time when you have rushed, take your kids out and be at the workplaces and whatever. But now take this time to talk with your spouse, get to know your children, what they are doing, what they are thinking, and not only thinking that you know your children and you know your spouses. So it's all about getting to know each other better, and so understanding the others better in the very unit of the family, because everything what we are manifesting, it's coming from inside out, and the family is the little unit, and everything is reflecting, mirroring what's happening in that family unit to outside society.
Thank you.
But also, yeah, I was going to say, there's one other important point. We all need to start taking personal responsibility. When we have these conspiracy theories, we say this person did it, that person did it, it's not my fault. Now, if we all started saying, this is my fault, how did I contribute to it? And the way you contribute to it is through your negative feelings and negative emotions. If we all took responsibility for our actions and stopped trying to blame others, that's an important step here too.
Yeah, people are saying, yes, feel love, resonance. It's all this, it's working on the self. It's forgiveness. It's loving the people you haven't loved, you know, making peace with people you thought were your enemies. And I think the world and governments and politicians, everyone's being humbled. It's a humbling, you know, even Donald Trump occasionally, you know, you could see that compassion coming through him. And we all are awakening to new realities. That's why I've been calling this program New Realities. So is there anything else that you see at this time? We can do this next week or in the next couple of weeks. We can continue this dialogue as we get more information and more evolution happening. I think we're just at the beginning of this internal phase. It's hitting people like, oh my God, this is really happening, and this is a change, and there's no normal anymore, no going back to normal, because there is no normal. So I think as people settle into this, I think deeper questions will arise in us, and deeper discussions about this. What does?
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
Yes, about the forgiveness. It's just, we're always thinking that we have to forgive the others and thinking everything that others. But first of all, we have to forgive ourselves and love ourselves, because because everything we are reflecting outside of ourselves. It's what we are feeling towards ourselves. So you cannot love the others if you cannot love yourself. And the measure how much you love yourself, you are able to feel that amount of love towards others. So everything comes from what you feel about yourself, and try to work on that. and to be honest. It needs a huge of honesty. So forgive yourself.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Sue, anything from you that you're...
No, I think that idea of forgive yourself first is the way to begin.
But one last question. Thank you. I mean, thank you both for really tapping in and calling out the spirit. But one last question. What does the future look like for both of you from your trance state? I mean, how will this next year and years unfold? What does society look like? What does, you know, the world look like in this new form? Minna, do you want to? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I would say that we are able to see different kind of realities, depending on how we have been processed our own heavy stuff, our emotional stuff. So we are able to see people who are flourishing and people who are not flourishing so much. So because we are creating the realities, and at this point the realities may differ a lot compared to each other. And I say that this is a different parallel realities at the same time that we are living here. So it's all about what the person wants to do, tap into the love or tap in the fear, and we have the free will, but it's going to be divided, and in that respect in the future as well.
Stay in the love. Sue, anything you see for the future in a long distance sort of way?
There's always going to be conflict, because it is through conflict that we grow and we evolve. This moment in time is a time of deep growth and evolution. I see a time in the world where the spiritual comes back to replace the material aspects. And as the spiritual comes back in, the challenges that we face, we will be able to make better decisions about, so that we can progress on our own personal spiritual journeys. Because that is the point of this life. We progress to a certain point, and then we move on into the next life. And in the next life, we continue to progress until we become beings of pure light and energy. And it's the progression that we are trying to go through. And in the next world, there will be a more conscientious trend towards being aware of the spiritual and allowing everyone to express their own personal spiritualities, which today are not easy to do. So focus again on yourself, on the spiritual presence that you have, on the things that you are. But remember, life is never going to be a dream. It's never going to be paradise. There always have to be some challenges, because it is through the challenges that we grow and progress. So right now, you are facing the greatest challenge you've ever seen within your life. So it's all about how you grow and progress and are aware of your spirituality.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I do think at some point we reach a peace with ourselves where it's not a struggle. And I think this is an acceleration time through a gap where it will take us to find that peace within, because we can only find it within, not in the world. So Minna, do you have a closing prayer from the Galactic White Brotherhood or whoever you're talking to?
Yeah, it's in the Finnish.
Can you go into a trance and bring them through and give us a...
But how about 5 minutes, we may send some kind of trance healing with Susan to all of you.
Yeah.
I would like to, that would be the closing
thing. So too bad we don't have some music, but
I could put some music on. Yeah.
Like music. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into a trance state, and we're going to send healing out to everyone, especially to the people who have been listening to us today. Okay. And hopefully those who see us in the future will also benefit from hearing the spirit, feel the spiritual energy, because my friend Ed Edwards says that his energy works even when it's recorded.
Mhm. Before we do that, I just want to say to Minna, Kirsi Korhonen says hi from Finland. So because
Oh.
you're in,
Well,
oh,
thank you. Thank you.
okay, let me
Same
find
to
some
you.
music, and you're going to lead us 5 minutes in a kind of healing trance. Is this what you're saying?
So if we just all close our eyes and feel the energy, you don't have to do anything except just try to relax. And if you're not able to relax, just be where you are, but just close your eyes and enjoy a little piece of the moment right now.
Yeah.
Very nice energy.
Yeah. The
Very-
question
Yeah.
is that people will see if the medium will be able to carry that energy with it, because sometimes spirit uses all of these different technological devices because it is vibrations, so that people can sense or feel it. I mean, it's like paintings. When you stand in front of some paintings, like Wilma Off Klimt's paintings, you can feel the energy radiating out of the painting. So if you see if you can feel the energy, and it's sensitizing people to be able to do that.
No, thank you. Everyone's saying thank you. Susan, Minna, lots of nice acknowledgments. So I think because what we tapped into was beyond time and space, people will feel that even in the recording. So thank you both. Minna, how do people get in touch with you, or what's your website? And
Well, at this point, through Susan.
okay.
Yeah.
And your website again,
Yeah.
Susan, is what?
Is www.spiritartgallery.net. And hopefully I'm going to have a radio show soon.
Yes, but we'll do this. We could keep doing this. This is fun because people have a lot of questions, and it's just a way of tapping into who we really are. So I'm Alan Steinfeld talking with Susan Barnes from Lilydale and Minna, what's your last name again?
Nissila.
Nissila from Finland. Mount Steinfeld from New York, New Realities. And I also recommend Lilydale when all this kind of clears. It's a place where it's a town devoted to spiritual mediumship. Anything you want to say about Lilydale there for a second, Sue?
Well, no, Lilydale's a very unique, interesting place. It is a small community. It's a Victorian-based community. During the summer, we have lots of different workshops and things for people. We have a healing temple that helps people. We also have some activities during the winter. We are trying to get online with some of our information and messages. But visiting here is really the best because it is a peace and calm and peaceful experience for most people.
Mm. Yes, there's a famous movie out called No One Dies in Lilydale, an HBO movie. Thank you all. I'm doing a big event tomorrow on Zoom with Val Taghini. It's on my Facebook page, Alan Steinfeld. I posted it in the chat. And at 5 p.m., we're doing a kind of global healing meditation. You're both invited. I'll send you something to thank you again for agreeing to just
Thank you.
Tap in. If I'm ever in Finland, I'll let you know. Okay. And this is
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you too for
Thanks.
a part of this. We had a lot of people online watching, so, and there'll be more as this is played on YouTube. I'm Alan Steinfeld for New Realities. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more spiritual input about what we're all going through. I call it a global spiritual retreat. So here we are. So we might as well pay attention to the inner.
Lots of love.
Thank you. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And thank you everyone on chat. I appreciate your presence because we feel that as well, and all the questions. Okay, see you next time. See you soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.